The PSOAS stretch is targeting one of your hip flexors called the PSOAS muscle right in the front of your hip here. And we're going to do that by biasing hip extension. Now you're going to need a yoga block or some kind of soft surface, towels will do, but elevating that over time is ideal. And then something that can help you like a stick or dowel or foam roller that can help you stay somewhat upright. So to set this up, it's actually very similar to the couch stretch, which we all know and love. So we're just going to get one knee and place it on the yoga block here. Now this back leg, I want you to actually tuck the toe or the foot so the toe's pressing into the wall, as opposed to in the couch stretch where we go top of the foot like this. So you're going to actually have the pads and ball of the feet on the wall. Then from there, the other leg is going to come out in front of you. And I like to have the stick in the opposite hand to the front leg. So I've got 1, 2, 3 really nice points of support, like a triangle, that triangular base, making me nice and stable. Now from here, before I even start pushing my hips forward, remember how I was saying hip extension? So what I want you to do is think about gently tucking your hips and squeezing your butt. Just by doing that, you might already feel a bit of a stretch through your thighs or potentially here the psoas, kind of the front of the hip area. But once we have that glute stretch, which I don't want you to lose as we go through this, we're then going to stay as upright as we can to gently then push the hips forward. So I'm going to send my hips this way. Now, if we're really, really tight, sometimes we might need to be here on yoga blocks and pushing the hip down more, and you might still, even in that position, get a fantastic stretch right in the front of the hip. And so again, capacity and context is going to dictate what setup you use. But say the hip flexors are somewhat okay, chances are you can probably posture up a little bit here. Of course, here you can see there's already room for improvement for myself as well. But like I said, glutes on first, then gently push the hip forward. Now what I like to do is, in this position, we've got a few options. We can actually passively hold here, even though it's not really passive, it's passive for the hip flexor, but the glutes are working, right? So we could just simply hold this position, or we can add some contractions in here. There's a couple that we can play with. One is obviously intensifying that glute by actually pressing back into the wall a little bit. You'll notice as you press back into that wall, that glute fires up like there's no tomorrow, and we push ourselves further forward into deeper hip extension, so you get a really nice sensation there. The other contraction you can play with is actually the reverse. So thinking about driving this knee forward or pulling your body back without actually moving to do a concentric contraction of the hip flexor, and then relaxing that and sinking deeper in. So you could do a crack protocol, yeah, contract, release, antagonist, contract. You have that option as well. But you'll notice this front foot here is well in front of the front knee. Reason is I'm trying to always encourage my hips to move further and further away from the wall. Now, if you're going upright and your lower back is arching and you can't get your glutes squeezed, you're actually too upright for where you are right now, and you need to dial it back. So just like that couch stretch, there's no good just cranking your upper back or lower back to try and get this position. If your hips aren't allowing it just yet, that's okay. Then like I said, yoga blocks, best friend down here, squeeze your butt, drive your hips forward, yeah? But that's your option. This is obviously the goal that we're working towards, and over time what we can also do is start to elevate that back surface, or the knee that's on the back surface there, the back surface that the knee is on. We got it in the end, right? You could do 1 yoga block, 2 yoga blocks, so on and so forth, until that knee is almost in line with your butt, like a true front split, yeah? Anyway, that is the PSOAS stretch. Give that a go and loosen up those hip flexors.